Oh, hello there. Josh, that's me. Clearing Waivers Podcast. We're back at it for another week. We appreciate you coming by. Um, Per usual, we got Brian and Kitty with us. How was your guys' week? Don't care. There's too many sports to cover. Too much sports. I don't care. We need to start immediately. Actually, I hope you guys had a great week, but let's get out to it.
We're clearing the waivers.
This last weekend was the epitome of October sports, where we had NBA Finals, we had MLB playoffs, we had college football, we had NFL football. It was a glorious, glorious week if you had the time to sit down and be able to partake in it. But we're going to cover some of the things here. Of course, we're going to take that. There was a football game. I think the Raiders were involved. The Chiefs also placed, and I think they were involved as well.
Don't remember much
talk about that. Yeah, it seemed like a blur. We might touch on that here in a little bit, but might just scoot right over that to the Lakers winning the NBA championship in their little bubble that seemed to be a very successful bubble at that. So we'll touch base on what that finals kind of meant, and we'll bask in Kitty's glorious for calling it. And then speaking of playoffs, we got the MLB League Championship Series is going on right now. I believe last I saw, the Braves were again beating the Dodgers pretty handily tonight. So we'll kind of look at a little bit of what we've seen so far, what we could see down the road, and then kind of break that down a little bit before we jump into the shenanigans. Might have a different game for you. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We need these two guys to figure it out at some point. But let's jump right into it. Clear the waivers. The Chiefs. Let's talk about it. Lost to the Raiders 40-32. This is one of those games where it just seems like it's gonna happen. I mean, I'm a 16-0 thing. I don't know if that's ever going to happen again. There's so much parity in the NFL. It's kind of hard to see that happening. Of course, we were trying to live the dream as much as we can, but it just seems like there's always going to be a little brain fart game that's going to happen under Andy Reid and for any team, really. First 4 weeks, they didn't look great, period, outside of that Ravens game, really. And again, let down, and it just seems like there's a lot of holes to fill now. Everybody has to kind of take assessment of where they are currently and what they could improve on and what they need to figure out. But Brian, I guess, what have we learned so far from this loss and from these first 5 weeks of the Chiefs play?
Well, they finally got caught in their sleepwalk mode and got because they just the defense kind of completely failed. They didn't look like anything we'd seen the first few weeks. The guys that you look to make plays and get that team rallied and eliminate the mistakes, Frank Clark, Tyrann Mathieu, Chris Jones, we didn't see dick from them on Sunday. I think I saw Clark and Mathieu had the same number of tackles as Patrick Mahomes on Sunday. One. So that's a problem. They played really well.
Not even mentioning Charvarius Ward.
That's right. He had the worst game I think he's had in his Chiefs career by far. It's so bad, in fact, that he got benched in the second half for Fenton. And, I mean, how could you be against that decision? I do have some other decisions, though, that I've questioned, Josh. And I have some questions for Steve Spagnuolo.
Okay.
And it starts with having Dan Sorensen guarding Darren Waller multiple occasions. He's by far the slowest secondary guy we have on the team. Darren Waller is by far the biggest threat in the passing game on the Raiders. Having them matched up, you can't say the Raiders out-schemed you and get you in that matchup. They lined up man-to-man with that matchup on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And I have questions about that decision. I would like to see Breeland, which is not known for his speed, but he's a big, strong guy. I would like to see him just follow Waller around.
Mm-hmm. Mathieu would have been a better matchup. I mean, he ain't scared of nobody, and he'll punch anybody in the mouth.
Well, we drafted Willie Gay that we all thought to guard guys like Darren Waller, and so far, even though he's working more on the defense, they're using him to blitz more than anything, and not really using him to cover at all. So I hope that changes as the year goes along, and he learns the defense a little better. But that was a huge problem for me. And when I went back and I saw the final fourth down play, that was a huge problem for me because we all said in the chat, there's no way this isn't a quarterback sneak.
Yep.
And when I rewound it and looked at the alignment, and we had Willie Gay Jr. lined up over the center to come on a blitz, but he has no momentum, and so the center just pushes him backwards, and Carr falls over the first down.
There was no push up the middle. None.
How do you not have Derek Nottie right over the center, Chris Jones in this A gap, Mike Pinnell in this A gap? Make them do anything else in the world. Make them check out of that quarterback sneak, because the quarterback sneak is an automatic game over. Mm-hmm. You cannot let them get an easy-ass quarterback sneak again. So I had huge problems with that play call in the biggest moment of the game. The offense definitely let us down, but they put up 32 points. The defense, we need you to be average, maybe a little better than average. 40 ain't going to get it done against the Raiders.
I mean, last week we were talking about the defense was really the reason they beat the Cam Newton-less Patriots.
Yep.
So yeah, like you said, we kind of need them to be average at least, if not better. You mentioned all these weird decisions, and to me, the number one is, why the fuck is Ben Neiman on the field?
Yep, he's another problem.
I mean, I understand Alex Hitchens was hurt and or at least banged up. He came out of the game twice. It looked like two different injuries. And the second time it kind of took. But Ben Neiman was the backup Mike linebacker. That cannot happen from a personnel standpoint. He was just pushed around. Every big play they had seemed like he misses a tackle every time. It's either Neiman or Sorensen. This looked exactly like the Titans game from last year. It was the defense just getting abused play after play after play, missing assignments, not being in the right spot, getting trounced and just taken to the shed. It just very much reminded me of that Titans game from last year. Charvarius Ward, Hitchens. I just can't – we cannot come out of the draft next year hoping that Ben Neiman and Hitchens are the answer at middle linebacker.
Hitchens played fine. Pretty well.
Yeah, he's like Craig Stout was telling us before. He's kind of beat the drum for Alex Hitchens being like the commander of getting the front seven lined up, and you definitely saw why. It seemed like there was a lot of guys missing assignments and stuff, but at the same point, he's still really bad physically and talented wise. He still makes a lot of tackles because he's a middle linebacker. But I mean, they got to figure something else out. I mean, if Willie Gay is not the answer, he's just not athletic outside, maybe that's fine. Go find the next one. Go find the middle linebacker.
Yeah, and I think Damian Wilson actually did make some plays on Sunday. So I think if you can get Willie Gay Jr. coached up enough to take over Neiman's spot, then you have to like that linebacker core a little bit more. But I'm totally with you. Craig Stout pointed out at the beginning of the year when we asked him about how much playing time Ben Neiman was getting and what we're going to look for this season. And he just talked about how he interviewed him in the locker room, and he built like a punter.
Same, yeah.
And he got thrown around like a punter, like you said, and he misses tackles left and right. I mean, we give Sorensen shit for not being able to cover everybody, but he's a sure tackler as it gets in the secondary. So sure. I can live with that. We just can't put him on their most dangerous tight ends.
Right.
We got to find someplace else to put Dirty Dan. Lon Thornhill didn't play a great game.
Nope.
Breland
did come back with a really good interception, so it's good to have him back. But if it's at the it's like one hole pops open, we cover it, and then another hole pops open. It's just a lot of things wrong, I think, at the defensive side right now, and hopefully that gets tweaked. Like I said, after the Titans game last year, things kind of got tightened up a little bit, and people held each other more accountable, and hopefully that's what this was a kind of a wake-up call.
They seem to take it personal, which they absolutely should take it personal, and there's reports about the Raiders taking a victory lap in their team bus on their way out of town. Don't think that won't go unnoticed.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that was that middle November when they play next? Late November?
I don't know, but spoiler alert, I will have an upcoming best bet whenever that week is. I'm not sure when we'll actually play them again, but I'm going to have a best bet pick that week.
Chiefs to cover 55. I think they probably could cover 55 if it just seemed like the offensive line also had a lot of problems. I think Seth Kaiser and Jeff Schwartz were talking about it on Twitter quite a bit, which, I mean, between Pat Mahomes kind of getting antsy in the pocket or just taking too many deep drops, waiting for those patterns and stuff to kind of develop.
Yep.
And the offensive line, especially the interior, not being able to block a 3 or 4 man rush. It seems like whatever the case is, especially in a Chargers game a couple weeks ago, it came very evident that a 3 or 4 man rush was the way to go. We talked about that with the Patriots game last week. Being able to drop 7 or 8 guys, and if 3 or 4 guys can get home, that's the way to beat this offense, or at least contain them to a certain point. It seems like now that's still the case, and the offensive line is still having issues with even mediocre pass rushers.
Yep, and that's officially a problem now. The blueprint has been clear for basically since the San Francisco game in Super Bowl last year, and now we've seen 3 teams have success with that blueprint. And like you said, you can expect the Chargers to get home a little bit with 2 elite pass rushers. Even the Patriots brought in Chase Winovich, which was leading the league in pressures, I believe, at the time of that game. But this Raiders team they basically held those defensive ends in check both games last year. They didn't do shit. They didn't touch Mahomes at all. Like you said, even if some of those things are on Mahomes, and I have a feeling that Andy Reid's kind of okay with him improvising a little more. The traditional protection has you drop back so far, and then you climb the pocket if it's clean. And I don't think he's ever going to be a clean pocket climber. Yeah. And I don't think Andy Reid wants him to, because some of the most special plays that he makes is when he scrambles out and he makes a big throw. It just didn't happen because the pressure was coming too soon on Sunday and too often. And besides the pressure they got on him, they had some huge questionable holding calls.
At least one really big one
negated a touchdown, and they had another huge questionable no call on a pass interference. That was, I'm not going to blame the refs, Josh. I'm not here to blame the refs. I'm just going to call it questionable.
I'll blame them. I'll assign a whole lot of blame on the refs, because especially the 2 you kind of pointed out were brutal. They were big point swings, actually.
At least we had Charles Davis tell us that he's glad he saw it was early, but he's glad they didn't call it. Like, unbelievable. What are we doing here, Charles Davis?
And he kept saying that the corner was making a play on the ball. It was like his head was not even close to turned around. All he was doing was jumping on Tyreek. I'm not getting into it. It was a horseshit call. Regardless, coming into this, it seemed like, like you said, we talked about it, but Pat was still not really getting sacked. Came into this game only sacked 3 times and got sacked 3 times this week. So this is not a new problem. It's new because he's actually getting on the ground. And I think that is becoming a bigger issue. You just paid him $500 million. You got to go get some protection. And mostly that interior. There's a lot of question marks in there, and being able, like, losing Yang and LDT, which he was pretty questionable coming into this year anyways. Might have been a cut anyways, but
you filled that spot with 2 guys that weren't in the league really playing.
But Osemele has come in and at least shoved some guys around, and now he's done. I mean, he tore 2 tendons in his knee.
Different knees, right? I think he tore both knees.
Yes.
Unreal.
So I can't imagine he is back anytime soon. So they got to get something figured out in the interior. And I saw a rumor today, and maybe just conjecture on Twitter, saying, let's go see what the Eagles want for Kelsey. So unite those Kelsey brothers and let them run the town.
That would be glorious, wouldn't it?
Very into that. But I just want it to get figured out, at least an improvement. And honestly, I haven't even got to my biggest gripe here. I haven't even touched base on my biggest gripe. When the fuck are we going to see a Clyde Edwards-Helaire game? When? When is it going to happen? Why hasn't it happened already? The whole offseason, he's going to put this offense on another level. He is the best pass-catching running back that's ever come out of the draft in the last 6 years or whatever. He's going to be the next Brian Westbrook, if not better. I mean, we've heard all these things, and through 5 games, he's done very little. And
we're not even talking about more rush attempts for him. I want to see more designed plays for him coming out of the backfield.
Yeah,
because he's a legit weapon. And
yes,
I think now, especially, I have written down here, one of my points is, I don't know if it was coincidence or just happenstance, but when Sammy Watkins went down with 3:47 left in the second quarter, our drives were in the third quarter, 3 plays, 7 yards punt, 5 plays, 18 yards punt, 4 plays, 12 yards punt, 4 plays, 3 yards interception.
Yep.
I don't know if that has anything to do with Sammy Watkins. We give him a lot of shit, but he is also very good at finding the holes when teams are focusing on Kelsey and Hill. He seemed to get quite a bit of targets. He had a touchdown, I think, on Sunday, right? Before he went down. So losing him, they're going to have to have another playmaker step up, and whether that's Hardman or Clyde, you're going to have to feature somebody else to get those third targets.
Yeah, I think AP Laboratory mentioned that they think that it's going to be the CEH time to do that. He's going to be the underneath guy. Yeah, I mean, now's the time to do it.
Yep.
He had 80 yards against Raiders on 13 touches, which is pretty solid. He had 8 targets, so there seemed like that's probably more of dump offs, eject buttons. 8 targets, but only 3 receptions.
Yeah, and I think that's probably another factor we're looking at here is Mahomes is just built so differently than other quarterbacks. You see guys like Rivers or guys that don't have the big arm and don't have the mobility. They check down so much more often than Mahomes even thinks about checking down. His check down is to hit the guy running the 15-yard comeback, and that's not the guy throwing it out of the backfield. So I think, Andy, I want him to specifically draw up some plays to get him the ball and make him let the first read or the second read or something, and not just count on drop-offs, because Mahomes just doesn't drop it off.
And, I mean, if he's supposed to be this Lamborghini, why not take him out for a drive?
Absolutely.
I mean, you got to plan for a little Sunday drive with little Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
And he said the playbook's so easy, so it's not because of that.
Yeah, that's right. On the year, the running backs have been targeted 39 times. They have 24 receptions for 209 yards. Not a great average on there. Among running backs with at least 5 targets, Edwards-Helaire is currently 15th in yardage per target with 6.3 yards per target. Not good. Only has a 63% catch percent. This is 37th among that same group. 63% of the time he's catching balls. You can't do it.
No.
If you got a scheme, Andy Reid is the screen game genius. Why can't? Is he just saving them? I mean, what are we doing here?
Yep, I agree.
It might be time to do this. We got a big game coming up against Buffalo, and I think it needs to get sorted out between that. I did pull up a little bit of some of the stats that the Buffalo has. They seem like a pretty stout defense, but they're 11th in rushing yards allowed at 83 yards per game. They give 18th in receiving yards per game to the running back position, and they've faced the Jets, the Dolphins, the Rams, and the Raiders. And they're middle of the league against running backs. It's time to unleash Edwards-Helaire this week.
Let's go. Let's do it.
No time like the present, right, Kitty?
That's right. Get it done.
So, yeah, like I said, they got a big game against Buffalo. Buffalo currently getting trounced by the Titans. I think 28-10 is last I saw. So they could be coming in, got down 4-1 as well, and that could be it's already a very important game. But if they come in tied, that's only doing the Chiefs a little bit more of a favor and gives us a little more leeway. But it's going to be a must-have game, I think, at this point. And after this week, I think it'll lighten up a little bit more. But, I mean, we got to get some shit figured out, boys. It's time.
No doubt about it. And we've shown, the Raiders game shows specifically that we can't sleepwalk through games and just get wins. I mean, we got to show up at least on one side of the ball. And, I mean, like you said, after the Bills game, the schedule softens up mightily, but we just saw that we can't let down. Because, I mean, I give the Raiders credit. They outplayed us on both sides of the ball, but I still don't think they're a legit contender even for the division. So congrats to you, but it ain't your year, man. And I just want to point out to Chiefs fans, Sunday was horrible. It was ugly to watch, but we've seen this team do too much before this to say that game was something that's going to happen going forward. It seemed like when they have these letdown games, it refocuses everybody. They come back strong, and then they go on a run. We saw that, like you pointed out. They had a tough game at home. This game reminded me of that home game against the Texans where they just got bullied.
Yeah.
And it still took them a few games to figure out the run game, stopping the run, but they kind of got hot again. And then the Titans caught them off guard. They thought they had that game won. Titans caught them off guard. That was the huge turning point in the season last year. So I could see this. I don't, see them winning out after this because of refocus them, but I can see this game, bring them back to focus, string together a few wins. Maybe we have another letdown like the Titans week, but I don't see many losses going forward on that schedule, even with what I saw on Sunday, because let me tell you something. That Mahomes throw, he not only the one to Tyreek that got called back, that's a special freaking throw right there, but when he rolls left and then flips his hips and zings it back across the field, every coach in the world is going, no! But when Mahomes is doing it, the other team's coach is saying no.
Yeah.
No coach wants to see their quarterback throw it across their body back across the field, but he seems to do it better than anybody that's ever played the game. I think that's the most special trait about him as far as his throws go. We see Josh Allen with huge arm. We see, tacticians with accuracy. We see mobile guys. But what he does rolling left and throwing back right when the play looks completely over, I think that's his most special trait when it comes to throwing the ball.
Yep. That's there's no question about him. Mahomes is special, so we need to do whatever we can to get him some protection, get him to feeling comfortable again. So
yeah, and
we'll
I think they will use high draft picks going forward to protect him more, but that's not going to happen before the end of this season. So we gotta fix it with the guys we've got this time and get that.
Go grab. Jeff Schwartz was let go by the Browns, and they picked him off the trash heap. Maybe they do that a couple times.
Mitch Schwartz.
Preach. What did I say, Jeff?
Jeff Schwartz. I don't think we want Jeff Schwartz. I
let's
love
see
him
what Jeff's doing.
He's great on Twitter, but I don't know if I want him suiting him up.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's going to be a big week, and it seemed like a lot of those guys were holding themselves accountable. Kelsey kind of took the whole loss on himself for some reason, even though he had a huge
good game.
Mahomes tweeted something today like he loves football, can't wait to get back out there. McCole took a little bit of responsibility for things, and he probably has a little bit of blame coming too. But it just seems like it's definitely going to serve as one of those get right games and something they can refocus on. Congratulations, Raiders. If that's what you need to make yourselves feel better about the direction of your team, good for you.
We're coming for that ass.
Good for you, man.
Get ready whenever that week is.
Let's move on to the other big winners of the week, the Los Angeles Lakers. King James has done it once again, beat the Heat in 6 games. Just like Kitty said, we all, every one of us, I don't think anybody lost faith in Kitty. He's just been a rock solid predictor of all things sports these last few weeks. But that game 5 was awesome. It was a very, very good game. And then game 6 was not. It was just kind of looked like a scrimmage a little bit.
Yeah, that second quarter was, we don't want to play anymore. Let's destroy this team and just hold on for the second half and just get it done and go home and finally leave the bubble.
8-point lead, and then I went to the bathroom, came back, and it was like 26. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, that was a quick burst of the Lakers in that second quarter.
Yeah, so LeBron wins his 4th championship. The Lakers win their 17th. And LeBron wants his damn respect.
He sure does.
Yeah, Kitty, what do you think about this Lakers win and LeBron wanting that respect?
I think everyone pretty much going into the bubble had Lakers as the clear favorite to win this. They got it done. Doesn't take anything away from the performance of what LeBron's done in his whole career. It's 10 finals appearances.
That's impressive.
That's just insane.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, oh, but he lost 6. Who cares? He got to 10 what Jordan did to win 6, go 6-0 is miraculous. But so few teams have that even get to 6, let alone win all that many. It's an insane something to take away from. Well, then now, since Jordan didn't make it to the other 4 that LeBron did, so would Jordan be 6-4 in finals? Because he didn't make the other 4. So really, those playoff years were trash bags compared to what LeBron did. So never takes anything away from Jordan because he didn't make any more than 6. But because LeBron made so many, he's no good because he lost too many of them.
Yeah.
So I think that's where he probably wants put some damn respect on his name.
It was he didn't come out right and say it, but everybody knew what the hell he was talking about. He said Lakers fans wanted their respect, the Lakers wanted their respect, AD wanted his respect, and Damn it, I wanted my damn respect too. Everybody knew exactly what he was talking about. And even in the celebration, I think I saw him get on record being like, what else do they need to see? What else do they need to see?
What do I need to put up 30, 10, and 10 in another finals, another playoff run again? I mean, what else does he need to do? He's just, I mean, it's a ridiculous, the stat lines he's putting up. If he could just find some confident or competent shooters in some of these squads he's had, I mean,
if Danny Green hits that, yeah.
Oh yeah, like at top of the key three. I mean that. Oh, sorry, I left you too wide open with my great pass. That's my fault. I shouldn't have done
Might be a thing.
So yeah, I mean, he just gets some guys that can finish some shots out there. Get a Kyle Korver, get a bum like him to run around and just hang out by the 3-point line and make a bunch of shots for him.
I mean, you don't even need a 3-point shooter. Rajon Rondo pulled off the scrap heat and played some valuable minutes and had some pretty darn good games too.
He did. I was more than a little surprised to see see how good Rondo was shooting the ball. Even
right, yeah.
Rondo used to be you would just play 10 feet off him and say, "Go ahead and shoot all you want, buddy,"
and he would.
Now he's out there actually drilling threes.
LeBron got in that ass a little bit.
Quite a change for Rondo.
Yep. Brian, what I know you're a Lakers guy, but you're also an MJ guy. So, I mean, where are you at on this?
Well, I think it was when he says he wants his damn respect. I don't think he's totally talking about his place with MJ. I think he's battling with where the talking heads talk about him in today's game. I think there's people that have been writing him off saying, he's done winning championships. They as soon as Kawhi won that title, everyone said, well, he's the best player in the game. And I'm not sure LeBron's even number 2 because you got guys like Curry and Durant. And they want to just vault all these guys ahead of him. I think because they're tired of talking about how dominant he is in the game. I think the players, if you pulled the players, they all would still say LeBron James is the best player in the league. It's just, I think he gets tired of watching these assholes on TV constantly talk up other people and kind of put disrespect on him, even though all he's done since he's been in this league is dominate.
Yeah.
And I mean, he got on his first year in LA. They kind of tried to hodgepodge some stuff. Magic Johnson was putting the team together, and he's running with the baby Lakers that weren't quite ready to win yet. And Ingram's going to be a good player, I think, but he wasn't ready to be number 2 guy. And so when they gave up the baby Lakers to get AD, I think people had kind of slept on how good he is when he's healthy too, just because he is hurt so often.
He's always hurt,
and he's playing a small market before, and so he never really got the love and coverage that most superstars do that are in big markets. That guy, Anthony Davis, is so good when he can stay healthy, but he's always got that asterisk when he's healthy. Yep. We saw it. We talked about it watching these games. There's no one that gets hurt more than Anthony Davis. There maybe people get injured more than Anthony Davis, but he is hurt constantly. Hurt or injured, he's hurt every quarter, it seems. But he's still an amazing
he was in
player.
that game 5. He was nicked up like 3 different times.
It's kind of like boy who cries wolf. You see him go downstream, and you're like, this could be season ending. This could be he's back in next possession. I have no idea. When he fell to the ground because of his bruised heel.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we doing here? But
it looked like we reached down. Oh yeah, that was nuts.
But yeah, I think it was more to it than just Jordan legacy versus LeBron legacy in that moment. And I think it was certainly involved. I think he feels slighted, and that's part of his drive is people want to put guys ahead of him in history's view. But I think a big part of it is players in the game today he keeps kicking their ass, and everyone keeps talking about everybody else.
Yeah.
So
there's definitely something to that, I think. And it might be like we looked in, we saw that in The Last Dance where Jordan was just like finding reasons to put people in the ground.
That's for sure.
I mean, that Mamba mentality, whatever you want to call it, whatever you need to do to take that next level, he definitely did it again. I was looking up some of the research on ESPN. There was an article from Kevin Pelton, ESPN Plus, I believe, but they were pretty much breaking down the Jordan and LeBron James final appearances and how valuable their performances were to the team at that point. Ultimately summed up to whereas like no one's ever going to touch, like Kitty said, that 6-0 for Jordan is never going to get touched. It's always going to be in play, and it should be because that's damn impressive. But as a whole, it's probably going to turn into a quality versus quantity thing because LeBron is still building his resume. With Jordan having that quality 6 titles and being 6-0 is never going to get touched. But LeBron is, like I said, 4 titles, and really, why would it stop now? I mean,
and played since he was 18. He's going to play till he's probably 45.
Yeah.
So his career's going to go way longer.
They have the pretty much like in baseball, they have the WAR, the wins above replacement. Right now, LeBron posted his third best career finals value this year. So out of all the final appearances that he's had, this was his third most valuable to the team that he's posted. So, I mean, why would it stop? He's not stopping. Right. In fact, if he's going to keep getting disrespected like this, he might get better. Damn it. I mean, that's where we are.
And it seems to me, watching him in this playoffs, he's becoming even more confident with his outside shot.
Yes.
He was taking, logo shots
from the logo. Yeah.
And whether that's a good thing or a bad idea, he's already transforming his game to where if his body starts breaking down, he can't just bully guys to the rim anymore. If he gets consistent outside shot, he, like you said, he can still play for years. And if he's got a guy like AD on board to play too, and he's not going anywhere, he's going to continue to dominate, and they can build that team around him.
So I guess that's the next question is, at this point, do the Lakers then throw that Supermax deal at Anthony
100%.
Davis, all things considered?
That was the plan the whole time. And I think they've secretly had Anthony Davis on board with that, but he'll still have the option to shop around. But I think that's what he's planning to do, especially when you're coming off a title like this.
You can't just leave Los Angeles after you're going to be in Space Jam 2 either. I mean, you got to be there to market. And he's gone Hollywood, baby.
His $20 million salary for being an actor in that.
Right. Yep.
Doesn't count.
Yep. So yeah, it seems like the Lakers, congrats to them. Congrats to their fans. They really wandered through the desert, just like those Dodger fans out there that just you gotta, your hearts break for them a little bit. They just haven't seen very good play over the last 20, 50 years. So it's good to see the Lakers doing another title for LeBron's cap. But
and shout out
good for
to
Anthony
the NBA,
Davis.
like you said, pulling off the bubble where they basically had no hiccups at all.
Yep.
And it was just one of the many steps along the way of the sky is falling with the people like, what are you, insane? You're going to build a bubble in the middle of a hot spot in the USA? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, they fucking did it. And nobody got positive that mattered. So shout out to them for coming up with the protocols and everything to pull that off. And it was a good product, I felt like, too, watching the playoffs down there. They were fun games to watch. It was weird without the fans, but, I mean, those guys still played their ass off down there. They didn't seem like there was a lack of motivation at all. And
I could have done without the remote. I'd rather have, like, the artificial fans that are in, like, the MLB games than seeing their what we're doing. They see us in the background.
It was kind of cool when they mixed in some celebrities for, like, the finals and stuff.
But just sitting there seeing –
no, they're going like they're doing their fake cheers.
Yeah,
pumping fist pumps.
I can't even imagine myself agreeing to be on camera for the entirety of an NBA game that I'm not even fucking going to be at. Yeah, let's turn my computer on to film my dumb face for 2.5 hours on this video screen that no one probably is ever going to see.
Yep.
I'll just watch the game instead.
Yep.
Do other crap.
Not nearly as many hijinks as there should have been, in my opinion, either.
Yeah, you'd think there would have been some more.
You get that opportunity, you got to at least put some stupid costume on or something.
Right.
Or like the girl in the World Series for Garrett Cole last year.
Well.
Oh yeah, we'll flash.
I'm gonna guess that feed gets cut real quick. It's not necessarily something that you can't do the behind the mound cam and not catch that.
Right.
Well, from one championship series being played to another, we've got 2 in the MLB playing right now. We've got the Rays and Astros. I believe Game 3 just started, but the Rays have taken a 2-0 lead in that series. It's been a really good series so far, and we kind of wanted to break it down a little bit. So, Brian, I'll start with you. I guess what have you seen so far? What are your thoughts about it, and where do you think that this series ultimately ends?
God, I hope it ends with the Astros crying. Of the 4 teams that are still left, they're really the only team that I don't want to see go anywhere past this. Those cheating bastards.
Yeah.
And I like the Rays. I think they show kind of a model that the Royals try to follow, and they're showing now. You know, we kind of thought that the 15 Royals were built kind of this way, but when you actually watch this Rays team, their pitching staff is built entirely different than that 2015 Royals team. These are all power arms, whether it's the bullpen or the starting rotation, and they're just fun as hell to watch.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really know. There's not many household names in that lineup on the Rays, but they did finish 12th in the league in runs scored. Gave up the 4th fewest on defense and pitching. So that's an impressive team. Astros just need to stink it up 2 more games. I just don't want to see them anywhere near that World Series.
Okay. So what's your prediction, I guess, for this series?
I got the Rays in 6.
Okay.
I think the Astros still battle with that core of hitters that kind of came alive when the playoffs started. They kind of stunk this year in the regular season, but once postseason started, they kind of hit the ball well again. I hated them taking out the A's, so I need the Rays to do the job.
It was very interesting, the fact that they went 28-30 and made the playoffs and are making the run. Yeah, I wish I kind of would have bet on them, because I guarantee you their odds would have been great. And at that point, it kind of makes sense that if they just, that offense just needed to wake up and it'd carry that rotation without Verlander. It'd carry that pitching staff for quite a bit of ways. So you could see the logic and why it would have been a good bet at the time, but kind of kick myself for not having talked myself into doing that. But Kitty, where are you at?
I'm sorry. The Astros, that's exactly what they're lacking from those teams that did win, outside of the cheating and the beating on drums and knowing what pitch is coming. They're lacking the high-end elite pitching of Garrett Cole and Justin Verlander. When you sent those 2 guys out there, you knew they were going to put up 7 or 8 innings of 0 to 1 run ball. Zach Greinke's not that guy anymore. He kind of got beat around a little bit. They've got a couple other guys that are okay, but they're not on the level of Justin Verlander and Garrett Cole. So I think that's what's ultimately going to cost them.
Yeah. Kitty, what are you at on this series?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. I've been enjoying watching Randy Arozarena just have the playoffs of anyone's career, basically, at this point. He's just been dominating.
Unstoppable.
Every chance he gets, seems like he's leaving the yard. So it's been fun to watch him. And just the Rays, it's one of those teams where, as an outsider, when you just watch them, there's no one on that team. It just kind of makes you upset without knowing much about them. Like, okay, these guys all seem fun. They're all basically no-name hitters. Only basically Blake Snell before this year had any.
You can probably make a case for Kiermaier being a household name, but largely not.
Mostly in the field.
Yeah. And then, but just the pitching staff they've assembled with Glasnow, Snell, and Morton. They traded for Morton and Glasnow. Those are just 2 big moves by that front office. And that
Archer trade where they got Meadows and Glasnow and
just so bad.
Oh God,
so bad.
They got Choi on first. He's a bundle of joy.
G-Man Choi. And not just that, and he's just that chubby dude that's doing splits when he's catching balls at first base. He always loves that reminds me of just watching 80s highlights of baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Every first baseman did the splits in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I don't see that anymore. So seeing him out there, just I'm gonna do the splits again, guys. Throw me the ball. I'm expecting him to do the splits on a ball that just comes right to his chest, just because he wants to do the splits for a change.
Mm-hmm. So I could totally see that being the last out of the ALCS. Because that's the highlight you always see when teams go to the World Series is the last out, and when they go to celebrate, give me a Ji-Man Choi splits at first on a routine grounder to second base.
That would have hit him in the chest, but he catches above his head.
Goes high with the glove.
Oh yeah,
I love it. What a call.
Factory. So Kitty, what's your prediction for the ALCS?
I was gonna say the same. I'm going Rays in 6. I think Astros just have that. There's just too many bats in that lineup to think they'll be swept out of it.
Yeah.
So I just got to feel like they're going to get a couple games here or there.
Yep. That's a clean sweep. I also think the Rays in 6. Same logic. So I want to see one of those maps where it shows every U.S. state and who they're rooting for.
Yeah.
Because I want to see the 49 out of 50 states outside of Texas rooting for the Rays in this series. I just need that visual. So if there's a sync pisser out there shop, that'll suffice. Just give it to me. I need to see it. I will say there's a small part of me much. And I hate baseball purists with a passion. And the only thing I kept hearing when they announced that there was expanded playoffs this season were, what happens if a sub 500 team gets hot and they start knocking people out and they take it all the way to the chair? You know what? Fuck it. Bring it to me. I don't care anymore. Just give me all the chaos this year. That would be the one storyline that is redeeming for the Astros to actually do this, is if they shut all the baseball purists up. They've already done it and walked away scot-free. So let's just complete the cycle and set fire to all of them while we're at it. That's just fine with me. Give me pure chaos at that point.
I don't want the purists to be right. Fuck them.
No, I don't either. I do not either. But yeah, I think the Rays are probably the team to beat. Number one seed walking into the playoffs. So makes a lot of sense that they'd be the team to get to the World Series. And on the other side of that is the really fun series so far with the Dodgers and the Braves. Like Brian kind of mentioned, I don't think anybody really hates the Dodgers or the Braves. And I think, if anything, people are definitely rooting for the Braves in this situation. It would be fine to see the Dodgers kind of get over the hump. They keep getting there, but they cannot get over the hump to do it. It's hard not to see them actually doing it this year. So, Kitty, I'm going to start with you. Where are you at in this series, and where do you see it going in the end?
I mean, just looking at the Dodgers lineup and their rotation, I mean, there's not a hole anywhere.
Yeah.
The only hole you see, I think, feels like maybe the bullpen just hasn't had the success. But even just looking at their numbers from this year, even the bullpen arms were all just dominant.
Yes.
I mean, I guess what 28-man rosters they have for the playoffs is that they're doing, or was it? And I mean,
I think so.
It looking like right now that the Braves are going to go up too low on this, which is surprising. I mean, Kershaw's hurt, which is throw Gonsolin in there. He only had a 2 ERA all season, who was just came out of nowhere to just be a dominant pitcher too. So then you got after him you got Dustin May, and then Julio Urias is going to start too, and then Buehler, and then maybe Kershaw, if he's feeling good, he'll start another game himself. I mean, that's a 5-man rotation that you wouldn't think he'd get beat like this. But I mean, first game they pitched well, just bullpen blew it in the 9th. And tonight, Gonsolin didn't get it done. But I mean, before the series, if you'd asked me, I would have said probably Dodgers in 5. But right now, it's obviously that's not going to come through.
Ain't going to be 5.
So I would, if anything, I might lean towards the Dodgers coming through in 7, just with all that pitching they have. Unless the Braves just keep staying hot, and then that'd be a nice little fun. Everyone was looking forward to Braves Rays, right?
Yeah,
that's what I think a lot of people wanted
before the
that,
playoffs started.
I think a lot of people wanted that. Yeah, it's at this point it's hard to see how the Braves are up 2-0, because like you said, the Dodgers are just so damn good. They're a very, very good baseball team. Brian, where are you at on this series?
I'm right there with Kitty. I think the Dodgers are a wagon. They have been all year. They've been dominating. They finished the regular season first in runs scored and third in runs allowed. And that's we talked about their run differential in the year being way above anyone else. The lineup is good. They've got, in Bellinger and Mookie, they've got 2 guys that can be an MVP at any point. That being said, I want the Braves to win the series. I know that the Dodgers have a lot of the big names in the rotation, but what Max Fried and Ian Anderson did the first 2 games, that's what you want to see from your young big arms step up in that spot. We've seen these baby Braves. I think it was last year. They went to a long series with the Cardinals.
Yep.
They sent Fulton Navitz, I think, out there for the deciding game, and he just got destroyed in the first inning, and they just looked like they weren't ready to compete with the big boys. And I'm hoping that this year that they are, because they've got 2 studs at the top of the rotation. I think they probably need to figure out how they're going to win the other games they're not starting, because some of those other guys you don't really trust as much, I don't think.
Yeah.
The bullpen for the Braves, I don't know how much to trust too. I know Melanson has had a pretty good season, but at any point I feel like that guy can blow up. Shane Green can blow up anytime. So they scare me a little bit. For that reason, I've got the Dodgers making this a series. And like Kitty said, I think they've come all the way back and win it in 7. But one thing I want to point out too that I think helps the Dodgers here, that I love about this format of these playoffs, is there's no travel days. These guys play every day of the series, and I love that because it drove me insane in that 2014 World Series when Madison Bumgarner got to pitch significant innings in 3 out of the 7 games. They played the playoffs a completely different way than you play the regular season. You play all year under one conditions, and then we get to the playoffs and you get to lean on just a few guys to basically run a series for you. And I love that you've got to count on the depth of your pitching staff to win a 7-game series now. And so I can't wait to see that play out, especially with, like I said, the baby Braves. You question the depth of that rotation. You question that bullpen a little bit. Will the Dodgers have the depth that it takes? Will Kershaw come back and pitch here soon? Because if I think I saw that Urias is starting game 3.
Oh, that change. I thought I saw Kershaw was expected to be good by game 3, but if they've already announced Urias,
that's happening. So if
Urias is really good.
if Urias wins game 3 and you got Kershaw for game 4 and you can tie that series up, I think the old puckers start puckering up on the Braves. And so I think you see them get a little nervous maybe, but I hope the baby Braves do finish it out, because I love Acuna. I love Albies. I love all these young guys. Freddie Freeman seems like the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, he does. And he's really good at baseball.
He just has that goofy haircut. You see this guy walking around with that old Johnny Unitas haircut. It's like, this guy's not an athlete. He can't play sports. He's terrible. And then he just goes out there and rakes every day.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys saw that. I think it was the first or second inning where he had that crazy stretch play from Austin Riley's throw where he kept his foot on the bag, and they did a replay of it. And Freddie Freeman's over there talking to the Dodgers dugout about watching the replay and stuff. And it's like, he's just like laughing it up with them. And I'm like, we're in an NLCS. How many guys do you think you're going to see over there chumming it up with the opposing team doing a replay? He just seems like a super lovable guy by everybody. Mark Hakes seems like a likable guy.
Yep.
I like Ozuna too. Austin Riley's had some struggles, but when you have that available at the 9-hole,
yep,
that guy with that much pop, I mean, that they're just a fun team. I love them.
Yep.
And also then we got Darno out there, a catcher, just kind of sticking it to Mets
red
fans
hot,
in a different way.
Holy crap!
So anytime Mets fans get a little more disappointed with player they used to have just coming out and just being amazing, it kind of just adds more fuel to the fire and have a little more fun for everybody else.
For that lineup, he's hitting 4th.
Yeah,
he's hitting cleanup, and I think I saw you 417 in the playoffs so far.
Yeah, and he's doing great.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier tonight. I was like, the Mets got to be a little bit pissed off that they let him roll.
I think you got to see the Mets and the Pirates for the players we mentioned earlier.
Yep,
they got to be pissed watching these teams right now.
Yep. The other thing I was going to point out is also the Dodgers they had a 71.7 win percentage this year. The 717 win percentage, which is on pace for 116 regular season wins in a regular 162 games. That would tie the 2001 Mariners for most games won. Actually, I mean, obviously that doesn't really count as much considering it was only 60 games, but that's a lot of damn games. That's a really good win percentage. It's hard to see. I'm not going to bet against the Dodgers until they're dead. So I'm going to say that this goes the distance. I say Dodgers in 7.
We all got Dodgers in 7 then.
Yeah, we're real great minds are thinking alike this week, folks.
That's right. We're ready to go.
And this is all we all knowingly know the Braves have a 2-0
probably going to be a 2-0 lead. Yeah.
Yep. My point with the Rays is like, well, they're 2-0. I guess I can't go against them, but here I am doing it.
Yep.
So yeah, I think it'll be a fun series, and really, I would any of these 4 teams making it. Just like I said, that small part of the Astros making it just turning into pure chaos and that being a storyline. Then you
No.
get more of the cheating.
Nope.
I mean, it's good story. It's good
No, it's
chaos. I'm fine with any of these combos. There's
Shut
no
up.
Cardinals, no
I don't want anything
Yankees.
about that.
Not
There's
good
none
at
of
all.
them in there.
No.
No Astros, please.
Shut up, Josh.
Fine. That's fine. That's fine with me. Go Rays. That'll do it for Clear the Waivers. Think we successfully did it. Let's move on to DFA for the week. The shenanigan. This is the first shenanigan to set off the week here.
Yeah, it's time to play DFA.
There we go. DFA for the week. Like I mentioned earlier, these guys have got a choose your own adventure DFA this week. I've got 2 questions loaded up here, and you guys can pick them. I got your regular DFA question where you guys try to guess top 10 of something, or I've got a little bit of an extra, like, different element. Let's call it a geography bee, if you will.
Geography? Oh, no.
I've got each of the NFL divisions broken down, and I'm going to have you name them from west to east in each division and see if you guys can do that. So would you like the regular DFA question or that intriguing and very interesting or new version?
I mean, we got to go with the new version, don't we, Kitty?
I think we have to.
I think you have to as well. So we're going to do it. So like I said, this is going to be kind of like a geography spelling bee. So whoever goes first is going to call out the division they're going for, and you're going to try to guess the teams geographically from west to east. And if you get it wrong, the other guy gets a chance to steal it. Each one you get correctly is worth a point. Most points at the end of this wins.
Okay.
So we're doing NFL. So say for like a Major League Baseball, the AL Central from west to east goes Royals, Twins, White Sox, Tigers. What? Tigers? It's not the Browns, the Indians.
You're right
So the
there.
Browns are not in the MLB, but they're in my list here. Royals, Twins, White Sox, Tigers from west to east. Got it?
Well, we're
Good.
doing NFL, right?
Yes, correct. So you're going to call the division out first, and then you're going to try to start guessing the teams within them from west to east. And I'm going to start with Kitty.
Well, I'm going
Give
to
me the division
with,
you're going to go with first.
let's do the AFC West.
Okay.
I'm going to go Chargers, Raiders, Broncos, Chiefs.
Board. That's correct.
I think it would have been different if they were still in San Diego, and then when they
Yep.
moved to Vegas, I think it would have been Vegas and San Diego.
And I think the West is probably the easiest one.
I think so too. I was just thinking about just
very
because they're
spread out.
already spread out. Because the only ones the issue would be the Raiders and the Chargers.
So even though that one was not very interesting, it's going to get a lot more interesting. Brian, what division you want to try?
I guess I'll try the NFC West as well.
Okay.
Because
Give me
there are
an
a lot
answer.
on the coast here.
Yep. Give me an answer.
I'm going to go Seattle Seahawks. The Rams, Niners, Cardinals.
That's incorrect.
Damn it.
Oof.
Kitty, do you want a chance to steal? What do you got for the NFC West?
I'm going to go San Francisco is the farthest west. Then we'll do Seattle, LA, Arizona.
That's correct. Well
Damn
done. That San Francisco Seattle
God.
is very close.
Yeah, it sure is.
Kitty coming out with a 2-point lead. His chance to choose the division this time.
I'll try the AFC North.
Okay. I figured you would go for this. Also kind of tricky.
Furthest west. Trying to think where Cleveland is in Ohio now. Which side of the state is Cleveland on?
Uh-huh. Each one of these, probably the remaining ones, have something really tricky in them.
Right.
I'm gonna go Cincy, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Baltimore.
Correct. Well done.
Whoa. He's closing out these categories.
Yep. Brian, your division this time.
Let's go to the NFC South.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with the Saints. And then now I've got to figure out the Falcons or the Bucks. God, that's kind of a straight line, it seems like, in my brain. I'm going to go Saints, Falcons, Bucks, Panthers.
That's a big pull. Well done. That's correct.
Oh, nice. Atlanta, Tampa Bay is a close one.
Yes, it is. If I'm looking at Google right, there is a highway that connects them. So, yeah, it is close to a straight shot.
Nice.
Kitty. We got the AFC and NFC East, AFC South, and the NFC North remaining.
I'm going to go AFC South.
Okay.
We'll go Houston, Indianapolis, Tennessee, Jacksonville.
That's incorrect.
Oh!
Brian with a chance to steal.
Wow.
Big round here.
Has to be Texans, Titans, Colts, Jags.
That's right.
All right.
Well
Tennessee
done.
and Indianapolis.
Got that point. They are also very close to the straight line as well.
Yeah.
Brian stealing it. Now it's his
Big
chance
time.
his turn to choose chip.
What's left?
AFC and NFC East and the NFC North.
Oh, God, that. Ugh.
Yep. Both of those are a little bit of a snake pit of NFL teams.
The AFC East.
Okay.
This is basically a straight line as well.
Between all four of them.
Yeah, I was going to say at least 3 of the 4 are a straight line. I'm going to go Bills, Jets, Dolphins, Patriots.
That's incorrect.
Damn it.
Kitty.
I'm going to go Bills, Dolphins, Jets, Patriots.
Incorrect.
Whoa.
Now, do we go back to Brian?
I think might as well. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's keep doing it.
Oh, God.
It's like that old game. Was that combination?
Yeah, we've got two wrong answers so far. These 4 teams. We
Just
got
gotta
so many
remember what
options
they are.
left.
Yep.
How about Bills, Jets, Patriots, Dolphins?
That's incorrect.
Oh, we're just going to keep going wrong.
Yep. One of you is going to get it one of these days.
I don't know what. No, I've got to remember what you said.
That's the best. That's the best part about this.
Oh no. I mean, is Buffalo not number 1? Is that where I feel like it has to be.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Let's go. Let's screw up. Dolphins, Bills, Jets, Patriots.
That's correct.
Wow.
Miami.
The Dolphins are
Miami is
farthest
further
west.
Yep. How about
Wow.
that?
Incredible.
That was not. Yeah, it's the only thing I can think we didn't do right there was have the wrong first team.
Mm-hmm.
That's nuts.
I think Kitty could close out the game here with the correct answer. Do you want the NFC North or the NFC East?
That NFC North looks like a gold mine of straight up and down, or a landmine filled area there with those three of those teams.
NFC East is not easy either.
No, it's pretty
first
close.
one's
I mean,
really
there's
easy, but-
one's pretty easy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the NFC East.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Dallas. Let's do Philly, Washington, Giants.
That's incorrect. Brian, this could be staying in the game here.
I go Cowboys, Eagles, Washington football team, and the Giants.
I think that's what Kitty just
I think
said.
that's what I said.
Oh, I thought he said Washington third to fourth last.
Well, either way, that's incorrect. Kitty, back to you. Do you remember what you did wrong? Do you know what you did wrong?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I'll try. Let's try Dallas, Washington, Philly Giants.
And that's game. That's
What?
correct.
Washington second most west.
Yep.
I need a map.
Yes, it is.
So what's that? This NFC North. I mean,
Yeah, Brian, do you want to try
Let's
it?
chop it up.
I think the only thing we've got one is for sure farthest east.
Yeah.
I think that's about all we got for that one.
Which I think
The London team?
That could be considered West if you really think about it too. Brian, you want to try the NFC North? Yeah, it's really what you think is in the middle, because I think the furthest west and the furthest east are both pretty.
Well, they are if you know what a map looks like, Josh. I clearly don't know what a map looks like.
Including Waivers podcast, not a geography podcast.
Not in a million years.
Need your answer for this meaningless point.
Exercise. That's right.
Let's get Vikings, Packers, Bears, Lions.
Correct. Well
Okay.
done.
Oh, okay.
Hey, you redeemed yourself. You got got it closer there.
I had Green Bay and Minnesota flipped in my list, so
Yep.
nicely done.
I like that.
That's a fun one.
Watching you guys squirm a little bit.
God, my brain hurts.
Yeah.
Well, now you got something a little more less stressful for you. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say we get into this too. It could be also very kind of very tough to choose. Let's go to the keep trade cut this week.
Keep, trade, or cut. Ba, ba, ba.
Keep trading cut this week. I'm gonna go first. This week
right.
we are keeping and trading and cutting one of each of salsa and queso and guac. This is not gonna surprise anybody. Daddy's keeping cheese. That queso is staying with me forever. I love queso in all ways, shapes, and forms. Even that shitty sandy queso that Chipotle did. The whole world was clamoring for Chipotle to do a queso. They finally do it, and it was a very bad job of it.
Not good.
It was not good.
It was watery.
Has updated and is very good. Can confirm. Very good right now. Now leaving salsa and guac to cut and trade. I feel like guacamole has the most trade value, so it's getting traded. I'm cutting salsa. It's pretty meh. I mean, you can take it or I can take it or leave it regardless. So getting cut, I feel like everybody's in the same way. You either love or hate guac. So I'm trading guac to some guacamole lover, and I'm just going to trade them for the perfect tortilla chip. And it's, it's a fine line to get it, because you need a pretty good salty, maybe a little hint of lime, and it's got to be firm enough to dip and hold that cheese without breaking. And it can't be just absolutely savaging my mouth either. It can't be cutting up all the roof of my mouth. So trading for the perfect tortilla chip, which might be Chipotle as well. Those Chipotle chips are very, very good.
Yes, they are.
They're solid chips.
Very good. Very good stuff. So that's what I'm doing. I'm keeping queso, cutting salsa, and trading guac for the perfect tortilla chip. I feel like you guys are going to have similar ones, but let's start with Kitty since he won that. What do you got?
I'm going to cut salsa as well. This is these are all pretty tough for me. I don't know. But even though salsa, you got to get that good hot salsa. Oh, that's just so good. Just nice little snack with some, like you said, some good old potato chips. Or tortilla chips. That's nice.
I was going to say potato chips.
Well, you never know. Who knows? Put anything on salsa. Salsa
I will judge you right to your face if you're dipping potato chips in salsa. That is not allowed.
I can't believe you're saying that's not allowed. That's a shock to me.
From my history of food, I'm here to judge everyone who doesn't do it correctly.
Yeah, Mr. I'm gonna throw ranch dressing on a ramen burrito.
Yep.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's a tale.
It 100%
may or may not have happened.
Can confirm happened. Can confirm.
So, and I'm keeping the guacamole.
Yep.
As a self-professed avocado lover, I'm keeping the guac. And you can just simple. You just need simple guacamole. Don't need to put peas, whatever other bullshit crap you keep reading about online these days.
Peas.
There was an article that Drew McGarry referenced where someone I can't remember what magazine it was, that talked about how they put peas in their guacamole.
Wow.
Sounds like big peas.
Just stick with onions, cilantro, and lime juice. That's all you need. You don't need to add anything else besides that, and you're just got a nice classic guacamole. And I can eat it with chips, or I can spread it on a sandwich. It's versatile.
Spread it on your face.
That too. Just look that right up. So I'm gonna trade queso. It's a tough trade. Tough one because like Josh said, queso is amazing.
Yep.
And I'm trading that for some solid French onion dip.
Mm-hmm.
The old I can't remember whatever brand
Dean's?
that is. The Dean's. That's it. Dean's. Yeah, that's
Highland also has a really good one.
Okay, that's a solid dip on a spread that you got a spread for a big game party. A French onion dip is a real low key winning bring to that table.
Versatility.
Oh yeah, because
It's
that one
Whit,
is you.
Whit Merrifield of snack foods.
That one you use potato chips with. So you're good. You're golden there.
You better not put tortilla chips in French onion dip. I will judge you again.
We need to have some sort of spread out, and I'm just gonna violate all these rules at some party.
You're not invited to my parties. So you're keeping walk. You're trading the cheese, and then cutting the salsa as well. Brian, what do you got?
Well, I feel bad because I'm also cutting salsa, and like Kitty said, salsa's delicious. This isn't like it was an easy decision, but it was. Salsa, you're the one that some restaurants give away for free, so you get cut. You're out.
That's a valid point. Yeah.
If people liked you more than the other two, you'd have to pay for it. Let me know. Let me tell you. So I'm cutting salsa. I'm keeping queso. Queso is king. When somebody has a good queso, I will continue to go back to that over the guacamole that's out there too. So I got to stay true to my heart. Keep queso. I'm trading guac for some good crack dip. And if you never had the pleasure to have a good crack dip at a football gathering, you're missing out. Look up a good recipe. It's usually got some kind of cream cheese in it with some white cheese and ground sausage in there. Buddy, I mean, you just keep coming back to that crack dip all day.
You got those Frito scoops nearby, you're in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is it known as crack dip on the internet?
There are many versions of crack dip out there.
Okay.
Because I looked it up to see if it was that known, and everyone's got their own version of crack dip, and I'm going to guess they're all pretty damn good.
Seems like in the year 2020, they probably figured out a more PC way to describe that dip.
Nope. It looked like some people put ranch powder dressing in there. Crack dips. I don't know.
I mean, why
I'm
not?
sure it'd be delicious, but that's not the way I've had mine.
I think Morgan, shout out Morgan, puts corn in his, right?
I don't know if it's corn.
Might be. I can't remember.
Let's call it corn.
Sure. White corn.
Irregardlessly, crack dip is very good. Very good.
It is. Yeah, it is delicious.
Hard to argue with those choices. Let's get back into the next one then. We're jumping into the waiver wire. Waiver wire this week. Last week we had another fun draft. This week I'm sure is also going to be fun. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but fall is upon us. The leaves are changing. The air is a little bit more crisp. The pumpkins are showing up on porches near and far. So we're gonna draft it. Keep it simple. Keep drafting the things about fall that we like this week. So far, I think we didn't put a poll out, and I'm feeling generous. I was a little bit scared. I can't deny it. It was a tough week for me, even though I still stand by all my picks. I'm gonna go Brian, then Kitty, then myself in the order here. So Brian, give us your first pick. Your favorite thing about fall. Period.
Well, it's the most predictable answer that you're going to hear all night. It's football. It's football. It's football. I don't think I need to explain myself. Let's just move right along to Kitty with pick number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pretty much figured you were going that route.
Yeah.
Hard to.
Makes a lot of sense.
Surprised by that. I think my number ones might be pretty obvious too. I'm going pumpkin spice.
Yeah.
Oh, give me pumpkin.
All over the place.
Give me that pumpkin beer. Give me that pumpkin bread.
We got a donut place that we have that got some fire pumpkin donuts.
There are some good pumpkin donuts out there. Even like just Dunkin' has their version of the pumpkin donut. And they're all good.
Yeah.
People call pumpkin spice lovers basic bitches, but I'm here to be completely okay with that.
I'm 100% basic, and I'm
Yeah.
fine with being basic because it tastes delicious.
Pumpkin spice all day. I think they started to sell the coffee creamer all year now.
Oh, there you go.
So maybe it
Make my
might
own-
not be a
make
fall
my
thing
own-
anymore.
Make my own lattes at home.
Little latte lover.
I think it was one of the maybe possible sink pictures. Adam, they had when we had the tailgate at the Royals / watching before the Royals playoff game a few years back. They had the pumpkin hummus,
Interesting.
and then it was with the old Nilla wafers, I believe.
Ooh,
what a
yeah.
good combo.
That's not bad.
It was really good.
That is not bad at all. Shout out to Adam. I'm going to go with my first pick, which is just the awesome weather. I mean, gone are the days of 95-degree weather. Here are the days of 50-degree nights. I love it. Those every day is like somewhere between 55 and 75. The nights are like somewhere between 55 and 65. Maybe it gets down a little lower, but we have our window open all the time. That window is always open no matter how cold it gets at night. So it also contains gray days. So it's a little overcast, a little crisp outside. That's my jam. I love gray days.
You like nice depressing days?
I'm fine with it. Yeah. Give me some depression outside. I'm tired of this 95 and 115-degree heat index. It can kick rocks forever.
Okay, interesting.
So I just want the weather. With weather, I'm also going to get all the bonfires because it's bonfire season. And you can say, I know, Brian, you break out the fire pit in those hot summer nights for some reason, but you're an absolute psychopath because fall is the only good campfire weather. I don't need to sit by a fire when it's 85 degrees at night when there's no sun out. Give it to me when I'm in a little bit of a cozy sweatshirt and I can stick my fingers in my legs and stuff next to the fire. I love bonfire. S'more season upon us. Here we go.
Hey, whoa! Are you
Oh,
taking
well,
people's
sorry.
picks?
I'm not taking them. I'm just saying it's
Just
I mean,
throwing picks out there, willy-nilly.
a good bonfire is not complete without some s'mores, but I'm not going to take those. We have plenty of fun with just the fire itself. So, Kitty,
You can light a fire pit without sitting next to it, Josh. Let me just remind you. It's
and
more
where
of
do
the
you put it?
ambiance.
Not feel
The
the heat.
visual of the fire is
It's nice and relaxing. It's like sitting by the water. It's nice and relaxing.
They have a channel on some TVs that just show fire. It just has a fireplace.
Great
So
pit.
The
Great,
Yule
great.
log on Netflix it got a lot of run last Christmas from me.
there you go. See, it's not So
Well, that's not the same as a bonfire. That's just a fire on the screen.
You're trying to throw shots at me for lighting
a
my
fire
fire
pit.
pit in the summer.
Because you feel heat off of it.
Well, it might get down to like 60 degrees at night in some summer nights.
It doesn't do that in summer. Not
Oh,
where
come
I'm
on.
at. Where do you live?
okay. Fire around 70 degrees.
You live on the eighth gate of hell that is Missouri with its humidity and heat. I know where you live. Kitty.
Well, with the weather you took, Josh, that means I get to at least break out one part of my wardrobe that I enjoy, and that's hoodies.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of mine for sure.
So it's hoodie weather. Josh has got his on. He's ready for it.
Yeah, buddy.
Got several hoodies I can bust out this during the year, but it's just one of the only things about the weather that I like at this time of year. I'm 100% summer weather kid, so I prefer the 95 than I do to the 55.
The tip of that hood is not
Not great visual.
Not doing you any
not a great
favors.
visual.
Oh, this jerk gonna take a hoodie weather, and not for the reason that we take it, to hide our fat rolls. Kitty
Fat
doesn't have
rolls,
any
yeah.
fat rolls on his body.
Swimsuit season's over.
Fall is great because you can wear jackets and you can wear hoodies and just hide all those fat rolls that those pumpkin beers give you.
Yeah. The tough part about it this year is, I mean, any hoodie season is you fart, it comes right up your nostril. Yeah.
Yep.
But now you
That
got
is a real
mask on,
danger.
so it comes up
Double duty.
up the hoodie and in the mask, and it just sits in your general vicinity in your nose. You can't not breathe in a fart.
That's true.
It's rough.
So it's going to be a tough hoodie season out there, but I think we're
Everyone
going to have to
feels your pain.
Yep. We have to push through, guys. Brian.
Falling to my lap here, boys. You take all this bullshit and I'm going to get football, and I'm going to get MLB playoffs. Are you kidding me? Come on. Feed me those playoffs. I mean, most fans kind of tune out when it's like August, dog days of summertime, baseball. Your team may be out of it. You're not paying attention to baseball anymore. And then those playoffs start, and those guys, you can see their breath out there on the field because they're playing in under 32-degree weather.
It might snow.
That's right.
Plenty of times.
And I love those games, and the crowds are always electric, except for this year. But usually it just gets you so jacked to watch those guys live and die with every moment in like elimination games and stuff. So give me the MLB playoffs for pick number 2.
Yeah, definitely on my list. Yeah, that the intensity with every pitch is it's fun to watch.
Yep. And it builds. The tension just builds.
Yeah,
man.
just every inning that keeps going. Oh, they've got a 1-run lead in the 6th. What's going to happen? Who's someone going to blow it? Got a new goat every night. New hero.
Yep. Not gonna lie, I was gonna try to get greedy, and my first pick was just the best sports month. So I was just gonna get all of them. That was my pick, and I was just gonna scoop them all off the table.
Nope, that's not happening.
It's honorable for you to actually divide them up
individually.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
It maintains the integrity of this draft.
Okay, good.
Finally, we have some integrity on the draft.
Well, you're gonna be mad after I pick number 3, Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best holidays of the year. You get to stuff your face all day long, drink beer, and watch football. It's a glorious holiday. This doesn't have any other bullshit tied to it. You might have to hang out with some family members you don't want to hang out with. That's not me. I'm not talking about you guys, family. I'm talking about theoretical other people to hang out with people they don't want to be with. But Thanksgiving as a whole is a glorious, glorious holiday.
Yep. Not many other holidays where the only expectation is that you eat like an asshole and then be super lazy afterwards.
Yeah, if you don't go back for seconds, you're insulting the cook.
Insulting. Yep.
It's true.
Have it. That's a good pick. I think I'm rapidly losing picks more so than I ever have.
I think you might be safe on this next one, Josh.
Okay.
Josh,
Kitty,
is your favorite season of the year, so you better have a list.
My draft board's fine. I'm just
Okay.
saying I'm losing a lot.
This one isn't an annual event, but it's every 2 years in the fall. And I'm taking the Ryder Cup.
Ooh, that's a good outside
Love
the box.
me some Ryder Cup golf. Go Europe. Go keep dominating these filthy Americans. Ian Poulter, the Ryder Cup hero, several times over. Favorite golfer right there. It's just I never understood getting behind the USA as just because you live in the United States. Like golf, it's an individual sport. You all have your favorite golfers that you follow. So if they happen to fall on the other side of the ocean, who says I have to root for the United States in the Ryder Cup? No chance. I'm going Europe all the way, all the time. Give me McIlroy, give me
Utah
Poulter.
Jazz and a Cincinnati Bengals fan.
That's
It makes
right.
I mean, if there's anybody okay with it, it's you.
Don't tell him who to root for.
Do whatever the hell I want.
Yep.
My life, my dumb choices.
It's not like you're a Duke and a Cowboys fan and a Celtics fan, and I mean,
I didn't do any weird. Just let's take all
Shots
the best.
fired. Rants. God dang. I don't think he's a Duke fan, but he is a
I don't
Celtics
think
and
he is
Cowboy.
either. Well, hopefully we'll see you next week, Rance. That's a good pick. I think that's pretty solid. Golf. You were right. That's not on my board. So you probably could have waited.
Could have waited, but I felt like I didn't want to lose it just in case you
Pick with the heart.
go back on one of your
Start to get spiteful.
your stealing modes again. If I had stolen something from you in a second, like on that next pick, you would have been, I gotta steal something from him. What is he like?
He will do that. We've seen that time and time again.
Is there an autumn specific Marvel superhero? There is. It's Captain Fall. No. The pick I'm going with, Kitty, it's probably on the list, but Oktoberfest beers coming over every year. I mean, that's the kickoff to fantasy football season. I when those hit the shelves, I know I need to get my ass in gear to prep for fantasy football drafts. So,
Yep.
Good point.
I haven't
really
met an
good.
Oktoberfest beer that are bad. That's bad.
No,
True.
they're all solid. All solid.
Shout out Bob's 47. Sam Adams is really good.
That's right. I'm leaning towards those pumpkin beers though this year.
The at Brian's house a couple weeks ago, he had the Mother Oktoberfest, and it was really, really good.
Oh, yeah.
So shout
I had
out
that one
Mother's
this year.
Brewery in Springfield.
Yeah.
So I got Oktoberfest beers on mine. My final pick. We got some good ones here. I think I got to stick with my draft board and go with there's not many months where you can find 12-hour windows where you can smoke a meat. It's smoker season. And at some point, whether it's the summer, you're going to be out on the dog day, heat of the day, trying to get a butt off the grill or a butt off the smoker or something. But in fall, you can go out there at 4:00 in the morning, be done at 4:00 p.m. And not one time do you hate being out there. So it's smoker season. I love smoker season.
I like it. Good pick.
I don't have any controversial picks this week from you guys.
Going to take
Doesn't look like it.
Cheetos.
I mean, how about
Oh
that?
my god, Cheetos!
Love my October Cheetos.
I'm done. Pumpkin spice Cheetos. That fell in with Kitty's pumpkin spice. Kitty, what's your final pick?
I'm going to take something that I almost had on my number at the top of my list. Nothing. Fall sucks. It's trash.
Whoa.
It starts to get freaking cold. Don't like that at all. I want to be outside all the time playing golf on the weekends. This is just fall portends the end of my golf season where I'm going to have to be cooped up inside every weekend, just sitting around doing nothing. No more golf.
Preparing for a podcast.
So I just got to wait till then. I got to wait. Just let me know. I got to wait. Oh no, winter's coming next. That's what fall tells me. Oh great. It's going to be 5 degrees outside every day. Can't wait. Fall sucks. Nothing about it is good. 4th pick. Boom.
Hater in the house. My God. Josh is number 1. Kitty's last.
I went back and I've been like trying to cut into this best of episode we've got come up, and today I ran across the Little Debbie slander coming from your filthy, filthy mouth. I can't take these from you. This bad mouthing the best parts of my life is not okay. It's not.
Your great depressing days.
How dare you steal
Little
the
Debbie's
gloom and doom of October and November trash days?
All right, so Kitty drafts nothing with his first pick or his 4th pick, which is interesting.
Nothing.
All right,
He basically drafts that he hates it.
Sure. Just had to get that take out there, I guess.
I did.
So,
I need to be
Brian,
out there. It needed
Final
to be out there.
pick.
I think I'm sticking with the food theme here. That's chili season, Josh. And you can't eat chili in the summer. You can't really even eat it in the spring. But fall allows you, the first time it basically gets below 55 degrees, it's chili season.
Yep.
And chili is great because you can make a gigantic pot of it and eat it for like 3 or 4 days in a row.
Yep.
And it only gets better as you go.
Sure. I thought someone was for sure going to pick soup, but kind of along the same lines as chili, and I was ready to just jump on them. Soup sucks. Kitty, I'm looking at you. I figured
I
you're
like
the
soup,
you're the
but I'm not
soup
here
sucker here.
I'm not going to draft soup.
Says the guy who does eat jambalaya on his balcony in 95-degree weather.
It was gumbo
I always mix those two
on
up.
a restaurant patio.
Okay.
Shout out to District Poorhouse Gumbo.
Well, I
And
guess that
it
totally
was-
changes.
It was after a golf league Monday night in the summertime. You know what? Sound good to me? Gumbo.
You know
And
what
it
sets
was-
off 98-degree heat index? A spicy gumbo.
Oh, it was so good. It worked. Wonders.
Upset of the century was Josh not taking Halloween.
Why? I hate
I
Halloween.
thought you love Halloween.
No, I have Halloween's on my list just because there's always candy in the house for like 2 months.
I also had no more lawn mowing.
Yeah.
That's a
That's
beautiful thing.
You get to replace that with raking. And I
God.
know you hate that.
At least you don't have to do that maybe 1 or 2 days unless you have a
Another
horrible
reason to
tree
hate-
problem.
Another reason to hate fall. Stupid leaves everywhere.
Yeah.
They also, golf courses, leaves on the ground. You can lose a ball in the fairway. Damn it.
Yeah.
There's too many leaves on the ground.
The
Stupid
outside the
season.
box one I've got is that most road construction projects are wrapping up.
Yeah.
There's not
Neat.
many road construction projects that are extending into the fall, and they're damn sure not in winter. So the fact
Well-
that some of these lanes start opening up again,
They better start to get their ass in gear on the 75th I-35 construction.
unbelievable. I hit that
That thing-
twice a day.
That thing looks like it is not going to get done before the winter.
No,
But
it doesn't.
maybe it will.
Shout out to MoDOT and KDOT. I guess it's KDOT.
Had honorable mention of tailgating on here.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's a better season to tailgate than the fall, than this nice crisp air out there. You might be, 50 degrees, but you got a jacket on, grills going, beers are just flowing. There's no other season, I don't think, where tailgating is better than the fall.
And damn sure not in those like college football tailgates where you're cracking beers at 8:30 in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
That just hits a little differently sometimes in the fall, especially.
Those do hit good. Those early morning beers at a college football game.
Those are the ones where you wake up and you crack a beer and you can see your breath in the air. Well, I do like that.
I love it.
All right, so that's the waiver wire for the fall. Enjoy your fall, guys. We're in it, and it's only going to get better unless you're Kitty and your soul is dead. We've got a special occasion right now. We've got a sink pisser, Ben Rigby. He's done a couple of our theme songs so far. We haven't had a best bet theme song yet. He made us one, and by God, I don't want to set the bar too high, but this is next level. I was very, very happy. I was having a bad day prior to getting it, and it turned the whole day around. So don't get your hopes up, but it is very good. It's very bad.
Sloppy Joe, sloppy Joe.
Hey, it's the best bet.
You've done it terribly wrong.
Hey, it's the best bet. Hey, it's the best bet. That's what it is.
Joe, sloppy Joe.
I thought because there's a taxidermy.
The best bet. There's your theme song. So good.
Taxidermy.
That was such a good addition.
Oh man, that's a good one. That is good.
Because it was a taxidermy.
Oh, very good. Shout out to Rigby. That's very, very good. Well done again. So yeah, that's best bet this week. Last week, not great. We went 1-2, and it was a bizarro week because Kitty was the lone win for the podcast last week. So tough week.
Good job, Jets offense. Good job, Jets offense. We'd only score 10 points.
And they tried to, like you said, to mess it up with a couple of false positives before the game. So it was really putting things in jeopardy. But Kitty was correct with his pick. That still brings us to 12-6 on the year as a podcast. Brian and I are looking to get back up on the horse and get a good one here, but Kitty's going to lead us off with his best bet for the week. Go ahead.
All right. After my call the Browns being frauds last week, and then they had a pretty damn good game against the Colts, I'm sticking with it. Well, I mean, Phillip Rivers gave them some free points, so that's always helps you cover a spread when the other team's offense gives you 7. So I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers -3.5 versus the Cleveland Browns.
Ooh.
This is Cleveland stepping back up into the big boy league of the AFC North. They already got destroyed by Baltimore. I'm expecting more of the same from Pittsburgh to take them out. So give me Pittsburgh -3.5.
Interesting.
Like it.
You started that out, and I thought you were going to take Cleveland.
Oh, no. Still a fraud. Still frauds.
Okay. That was, by the way, that was the pick that Brian lost last week was Colts covering 2.5.
2.5, yep.
Yeah.
Got beat by 9 or something.
Yeah. That game came, it seemed like they were still in it there until the end. I don't know what happened at the end, but it was closer.
Well, and then Rivers gave him the stupid old intentional grounding in the end zone. Phillip Rivers gave the Browns 7 or 9 points in that game, and they lost by 9. So, I mean, that's a tie game without his foolish ways.
Foolish ways. Gosh darn it. Brian, what's your best bet for the week?
Got to get back on the horse. I found this stinky cheese line. It didn't make any sense to me. The more I look at it, the more it makes less sense. They're begging me to take the other team. Nope. Nah.
Little inner conflict for your best bet. The sneaky cheeses smell yummy.
Why are the Ravens only 7.5-point favorites against the shitty Eagles? The Eagles are not good. The Ravens are really good. Why is this line 7.5? It makes no sense. I still got to lay the points with the Ravens, though. I think they're going to punish the Eagles. They seem to beat up bad teams badly, and the Eagles lose to good teams by a lot. except for when they upset the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, I think they're like 1-3 against the spread this year. The Eagles are, and the Ravens are doing well against the spread. So I'm going to lay the 7.5, and Lamar Jackson is going to destroy the Philadelphia Eagles defense.
I mean, after what happened with the Dolphins 49ers game, the 49ers might just stink this year.
Yep.
I mean, obviously a lot of injuries happened in that Eagles game, so there might just be they just don't have the defense to stop anybody right now, so that might not be as great a team as first advertised for the year.
Yep.
I saw a rumor today that they might be trying to move on from Jimmy G.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
when they did bench him
a year after paying him, right?
I don't want him to get hurt. I guess that was the idea behind that, apparently. Interesting.
Yeah, that's a tough round. It seems like they could be potentially rebuilding sooner rather than later. They're the new Jaguars, seemingly. I'm gonna go. There was one that kind of really jumped out to me, and not that I'm trying to profit off of an injury, but Arizona is laying 2.5 against Dallas. Dallas should be 0-5 right now. They obviously lose Dak to a brutal injury. Every time I watched that replay, it was worse. Seeing his leg fly. Anyways,
yeah.
But yeah, Dallas absolute dumpster fire. They should be 0-5. They are 2-3 instead. They let the Giants put up 34 points last week. The Giants, without Saquon Barkley, scored 34 points on this defense.
Yeah, I mean, Devontae Freeman's getting you big yardage
Chunks,
against that.
Just chunk after chunk.
Should not happen.
Couldn't do anything with it. Arizona's got a potent offense, and I mean, 2.5 points seems like an easy cover. So give me Arizona minus 2.5 against Dallas.
Rance would not agree with you more.
Yep.
Yeah, that's. I mean, those both seem like just ridiculous. I mean, I don't understand either of those lines at this point.
Sounds like a parlay is in action.
There you go.
Call. That's how you get right. You parlay it.
Yeah, if you go on a small losing streak, you just parlay 3 games together. You win one. You win at one time. Like that, I spend so much money.
Right back at it.
It's the Kobe Bryant way to get out of a slump. Just keep shooting. Just got to shoot your way out of it. Take a logo shot.
I agree.
That works.
That'll do it for us here on the Clearing Waivers podcast this week. We appreciate each and every one of you Sink Pisters that have stuck with us and still listening to us or watching us on the YouTube channel. We appreciate it in both cases, but would appreciate it even more if you shared it with a friend. Let them know what you like about it. Let us know what you like about it. Let you know what we need to look at and to do better on. I mean, the Chiefs taking a self-reflection week. We can do the same. Like I said, we hope to see Rance back next week. We'll see you. We miss you, dude. We do want to appreciate everybody, especially the Hollow Ends, for the music that they provided for us here. Want to give a shout out to the Heartland Pod. They got a lot of good stuff coming up with the election. They're kind of in the hot mode. They had a good episode with we talked about the holidays. They did a good episode of like how to discuss politics civilly with the family over the holidays. So I thought that was a pretty good episode, but go check them out. They're really, really fun, really good listen, banter back and forth with them. But for Brian and Kitty, also Rance, who's MIA, we appreciate you. Sink Pisters one more time. Ta-ta for now.
The day is done. Now the night has begun.
flames. Don't go, oh, somebody walking away. Hold your body close to the flames. Don't go, oh, somebody walking away. Oh, a loaded gun. Pressed against my brow, 'cause I wonder how all this undone. Holding fast to a vow, 'cause I laugh aloud. 'Cause I have faith that nobody else can protect you, no. The pages burning will all be dead under virgin snow. I have faith that nobody else can protect you, no. The pages burning will all be dead under virgin snow. So hold your body close to the flames. Don't go, somebody walking away. Oh, hold your body close to the flames. Don't go, somebody walking away. Oh. Hold your body close to the flame.